I just can't abide talent not meeting opportunity. It's so disappointing. It is so disappointing. And this team, we understand what happened. COVID happened to everybody. It's still happening, by the way. And in New York City, the rule was if you could not find your way to a needle to get vaccinated, and you worked in the city of New York, and you lived in the metropolitan area, you could not work in the city of New York in a public setting. That was the rule. And at least Kyrie Irving, after last night, admitted, finally, that he felt he was letting the team down. This is what he said after the loss last night.
Well, again, I think it was just really heavy emotionally this season. We all felt it. I felt like I was letting the team down at a point where I wasn't able to play. We were trying to exercise every option for me to play, but I never wanted to just be about me. And I think it became a distraction at times. And, as you see, we just had some drastic changes. We lost a franchise player, and we got a franchise player back. But, we didn't get a chance to see him on the floor. And there was no pressure for him either to step on the floor with us either. You know what I mean? Like, Ben's good. We have his back. He's going to be good for next year. But now we just turn the page and look forward to what we're building as a franchise and really get tougher.
You know what? You didn't do everything you could have done. You looked at all the options, except the one you refused to look at. I'm sick and tired of athletes who are saying, you know what, I've done everything I could, from Kirk Cousins to him to Tanner Houck now currently in Boston right now, who's not pitching this week in Toronto because that's the rule. I've done everything I could. No, you didn't. You didn't, and you won't. But at least he admitted that he let his team, he's thinking he's letting his team down. So even he knew he didn't do everything possible. Otherwise, why do you feel like you're letting your team down? If you're so in the right, then why do you feel guilty? Unless you have something to feel guilty about and you know that you do. And then, are we sure Ben Simmons is going to be fine for next year? Really? We know that now. Because I thought he was going to be fine for Game 4. You know who didn't take an epidural? The person who dresses him, that's for sure. And I'll say this. If you say, as you're running a team, you say to somebody, you didn't take the shot, you're not playing home games, that's the way it goes. You're not playing road games either. We're taking that stand. And then you reverse that stance in the middle of the season. And then James Harden, you acquire him after he honey buns his way out of Houston. And you acquire him, and then you just go straight past every blinking light and the buyer beware label on him. You go past that one, and then you accede to his wishes to get out. Then why are you so surprised when Ben Simmons says, I'm not playing? If these are the rules in which you set. And then you hire a coach as great as Steve Nash was as a player who's never done it before. But at least they've got Kyrie steering the ship with Kevin Durant, as he pointed out last night as well.
When I say I'm here with Kev, I think that it really entails us, managing this franchise together alongside Joe and Sean and just our group of family members that we have in our locker room, in our organization. So it's not just about me and Kev. I don't want to make it just about that. We're cornerstones here, but we have a few other guys that are on contract, and I think we just got to make some moves this offseason, really talk about it, and really be intentional about what we're building and have some fun with it, make it enjoyable, and hopefully we get to start from day one just as a squad and as a family, and we just really worry about us.
You know what? I've always said this in the rare instances it's happened, and I said it over the last few weeks. I miss LeBron in the playoffs. I know you don't, Chris, and I know a lot of people don't, but I miss him in the playoffs. I think the playoffs are less than without him. You know who I'm not going to miss in the playoffs? These Nets. I'm not going to miss Kyrie Irving. he was so much more enjoyable when he was making comedies. My kids love his shoes. They do. They love his shoes. They want his shoes. They love his shoes. And I like his comedies. I thought Uncle Drew was great. And I wanted to meet him and talk to him. Now I just want to tune him out. I am sick and tired of watching him implode teams. He left LeBron. Then he went to Boston and left them. And now he's left the Nets in tatters. He's part of it. As I mentioned, the owners and the people who run this franchise have something to do with it. But I'm sick and tired of hearing a guy who flunks science over and over again. From how round this planet is to what the vaccine means. I'm sick and tired of a flunked out science student try and sound like some faux humanities professor. I would want no part of him running my franchise. And if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm trying to get the hell out. I'd say, I'm out. Or get him out of Brooklyn. I know they're tight. I know they would be a terrific two-man game, but not when one man wasn't there. Durant deserves better, in my opinion. He is an all-time great. He is a GOAT in the remaining years of his window of opportunity to win championships. If I'm him, I am calling Golden State saying, how do I get back there? With him, they are dominating the West. We're not talking about when Devin Booker's coming back. We're not talking about how good Luka is. We're not talking about anything but how great the Warriors are and who's going to beat them if he went back there. Over. And that's the way the conversation would have been even with Clay out had he stayed there. My 2 cents. Adios, Nets. Can't wait to see what the Celtics look like moving on. I like what the Heat look like. The Bucks are obviously getting through this crucible without Chris Middleton. I can't wait to see how the Raptors try and force a Game 7, which would tighten the lid a bit in Philadelphia. Can't wait to see what the Warriors do from here on out. That will be fun. Can the Suns constitute a championship run with Booker getting hurt? What can Luka do now? The Grizzlies and the Timberwolves are an interesting series. Adios, Nets. I will not miss you as the playoff door hits you on the way out. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.